Hello everyone, this is Matthew once again, and today I'm doing okay. I do have a little bit of a cough issue go on, so if you notice me coughing as I'm doing a review of this movie, I apologize, so please bear with me. But for right now on, today it's 2:37 p.m. here in Texas, and it's November 16, 2019, but you'll be seeing this review being posted on November the 17th because, which forgive me if I mention one of my relatives on this video as I'm about to do a movie review, because tomorrow is my uncle's birthday and his name is Mike. So Uncle Mikey, if you're watching this right now, I just wanted to wish you a happy birthday, as I'm about to do a movie review just for you as a dedication. And what movie I'm going to review, Uncle Mikey? Well, here you go. I know you really love this movie, and I know how much you really had a passion for this movie, especially you love it dearly, besides the Incredible Hulk TV show. So now, Mikey, I'm doing it just for you. My review of Duel. Before there was Jaws, before there was Jurassic Park, Saving Private Ryan, Schindler's List, Indiana Jones, E.T., and Maid Account. This was Steven Spielberg's earlier films before he would go on to make his first feature film, The Sugarland Express. Which, of course, the film itself is directed by Steven Spielberg, as I said before. It's produced by George Eckstein, stars Dennis Weaver as David Mann, and the composer of this film is Billy Goldenberg. Now, my history with this film is pretty vague. I do remember this one moment of Duel where Mike was showing it to my family and her family when they were showing Duel on pay-per-view, which where they watched it downstairs, which is the famous chase scene that happens toward the end of the film. So there could be some spoilers right there. So if you have not seen the film, please feel free to check this movie out. It's definitely a must-see by fans who really love Steven Spielberg, so I would recommend it. So spoiler begins right about now. So, and of course, I actually was curious about this movie ever since I've been trying to study into getting into films, especially I know the part about Duel when I was reading Steven Spielberg's biography. And of course, when this movie came on Turner Classic Movies, I had to watch it. And I got to watch it for the first time on Turner Classic Movies before Jaws came on, and really loved it. Even though I told Uncle Mikey that this DVD was at Walmart, and he had to pick this up as well, which I do remember watching the first time, but we had to watch it at 5.1 surround sound because we couldn't hear that dinosaur noise that happens toward the end of the film. But of course I was able to change it to English mono after we finished watching the film. So if you want to hear the actual dinosaur noise, I suggest that you turn on the English mono track on the audio setup part, which of course is included on the Blu-ray. But unfortunately the Blu-ray itself doesn't contain the full screen version because it only contains the widescreen version, which I will explain that why. And on this DVD here, you do get Steven Spielberg on making Duel, Steven Spielberg at the small screen, Richard Madison, the writing of Duel, photo gallery, trailer, production notes, and cast members' bios. The production notes and cast members' bios are probably not on the Blu-ray, so yeah, I am a big fan of this movie, and hey, not only I have the DVD right here, I also own the soundtrack right here that my brother Jonathan got this for me as a birthday present, and really listened to the soundtrack and really loved hearing the score, which is not really much of a score at all. It's actually more like sound and noises, especially here some African instrument tribe that you heard when Billy Goldberg is trying to build the tension at the spins, that way how the music plays out. And it does contain some of the radio music when David Mann should listen to it until the truck driver was trying to kill him, when David Mann it started to begin to have this fear that he has on the truck driver until he has his car wrecked before he enters Chuck's Cafe. So yeah, really got the soundtrack. And around Christmas, I got this book right here, Steven Spielberg and Duel, The Making of a Film Career by Stephen Allwald, who also appeared in the Jaws documentary called The Shark is Still Working. I read the whole book. It's really good. It has a lot of good info about the making of the film and how it all came to be, as well as had to film some new scenes to get this film a theatrical release, but only in Europe. And it does contain, of course, if y'all can see closely, the script that it was written for the film by Richard Madison, which of course, the movie itself is also based on Richard Madison's short story, who was well known for The Incredible Shrieking Man, and I think some of the Twilight Zone stuff. So yeah, I really recommend this book. It has a lot of good info about the making of the film. Love having this around as for my collection, as well as the soundtrack. Who knows, I'll get the Blu-ray one day. But right now, I just have this DVD. And of course, I did hear the picture quality on that Blu-ray looks really good. So, anyway, I get to start off as how Duel came to be. Well, to give you the history, folks, it's like I said, before he will go on to become one of the greatest filmmakers of all time to each everyone's generation, and as well as being an influence on younger generation of filmmakers who want to get into films because of Spielberg. So the one could be the next Steven Spielberg or Albert Hitchcock or Christopher Nolan. At the time, Steven Spielberg was very young when he was making films, especially he made a film called Firelight when he was making it at a time when he was in high school. And then he would go on to UCLA to study films until Sid Sheinberg, the head of Universal Studios, asked Spielberg if he wanted to work at Universal Studios as director. But Spielberg's like, I had a year of college to do. But he gave him a choice. Either does he want to go to college or he want to direct it. So he dropped out of college and just went to Universal Studios. And which, of course, that pretty much becomes his film school. And believe it or not, during that time he was working at Universal, he actually did sneakily snuck out into the set of Albert Hitchcock's film Torn Curtain until he was kicked off, because he just liked to see his idol, Albert Hitchcock, and what he's doing in the scene with Julie Andrews and such. And of course, Spielberg will go on to make some on television, such as the Night Gallery series, Marcus Welby, as well as the hit TV show Columbo. And yes, of course, there was Duel, which of course his secretary Harry loaned him a copy of Duel in a Playboy magazine, and when he read it, it was just like, wow, it's like Psycho and the Birds. It was only on reels. And of course, Spielberg heard that Richard Madison was going to make this saying as a movie of the week on ABC, and Spielberg got the job, and history was made. And of course, for terms of casting, Steven Spielberg really wanted Dennis Weaver for the role of David Mann because he really admired his performance in the Orson Welles movie Touch of Evil. But of course, there were other actors who were considered for the role, such as Dustin Hoffman, John Louis Tragnon, and Gregory Peck. Peck, on the other hand, who was well known for To Kill a Mockingbird, was going to do this film as David Mann, but he had to back off the project as he heard that this film was going to be a TV movie, which he was not interested. And of course, in terms of the truck driver, which of course you never see the truck driver at all. The truck driver itself is played by stunt driver Kerry Lofton, who is very well known for doing stunts before his passing in 1997, I believe. And of course, I know he smokes a lot, which I noticed that during the behind the scenes of the film when Spielberg told him about Kerry Lofton. And Lofton had to ask Spielberg about what is the truck driver's motivation. And he told him, which of course I have to edit this out here because I don't want to say it. He told him, "You're a dirty, rotten, no good SOB." And Lofton just replied, "Kid, you hired the right man." And unit production manager Worsley Jr. insisted that this film will be best, that Duel will be filmed on a soundstage. But Spielberg insisted he wanted to shoot on location because of he didn't want to go on a soundstage to film it against a projector screen when they had to get some shots here and just have some actor performing the scene of chasing in a fake car because it'll look fake and that the audience will not buy it that this is actually happening. So Walter Jr. gave him the shot for like 2 to 5 days, and he says, "Okay, go right ahead." Which you could tell that by the making of this film, Spielberg did not want this to be your typical TV movie production. He wants this thing to make it feel like something you would have seen it on the big screen. And you could tell that they shot this movie on location, which only took like 16 days to film. And of course, now that film has wrapped production, the film itself will debut on television on November 13, 1971, as it earned positive reviews by critics as well as viewers at the time. Especially, it did so well on its rating success, which is pretty big, as it would have been like Titanic. And of course, when Universal was very impressed of the movie's success on television, they would now release it into theaters in Europe, but they had to film several new scenes, such as the opening scene where David Mann pulls his car out of the garage. The other was calling his wife on the phone. And then there was the scene where David Mann has to push the school bus, but unable to. And the other one is almost getting killed by the truck driver when he's being led to the train as it's going by. And as they were now being filmed, they will now release the movie in Europe in 1972, but it'll get re-released in theaters in America on April 22nd, 1983. And the film itself was nominated for a Golden Globe for Best TV Movie Ever Made, but it was given to The Snow Goose. However, the film itself did earn 2 Emmy nominations for cinematography, sound, and editing. The cinematography was given to Brian Song, but however, the film itself was able to win for sound and editing. And after the movie's success, unaware of it, Spielberg did learn that some of the footage that was used for this film will be used in the Incredible Hulk TV show called Never Give a Tug or Near a Break, which Spielberg, of course, was not really happy what Universal did to it, as he told Universal in the future that none of his films should be used as stock footage. Which, yeah, if you actually ever own an episode of The Incredible Hulk on DVD or just see it on Netflix, just check out the episode Never Give a Truck Any Breaker. It's actually pretty amusing, especially you can tell how cheap that episode is. But despite how cheap it is, it definitely is a lot of fun just to see all the stock footage that was taken from Duel, as well as the Hulk transformation, which of course I am a big fan of the show, by the way, as well as David Banner says, "I don't have 25 cents." So yeah, check it out. Just look up Never Give a Truck or Any Breaker. If you have the DVD or on Netflix or on Amazon, feel free to check that episode out. It has a lot of the footage from the movie Duel. But anyway, the movie itself, it definitely is a classic Spielberg movie. And you could tell that this is not your TV-made production. This is definitely a movie, a TV movie with a budget. Something you would see on the big screen. I really love the way how the film looked, especially how it's shot on location, which you could tell that Spielberg was taking a lot of risk and takes things to a whole new approach for television, and treat them as something that were more like movies instead of just sort of like your typical TV where they had to cut the black and there's a commercial, this and that. He did not want this film to be like that. He wanted it to be a big budget movie, and especially how beautifully shot this film is. And I thought that the story itself is very simplistic. It is a self-contained movie where it's just this sort of cat and mouse chase of a truck driver, which is the cat, and the red car, which is the mouse being run away by it. Which, of course, by comparison, you may think of Tom and Jerry cartoons. And I thought the look of the truck driver is definitely a good-looking truck. It definitely looks very menacing, and you could tell that this truck has a face, as Spielberg imagined, where you have the bumper, there's like the mouth, and you have the two windshield wipers are like the eyes, and the front of the car is like the big nose that sticks out. It really has a face, especially he likes to think of it sort of like it would have belonged to the Toho Godzilla movies, except if it's on wheels. And the character, of course, of David Mann, which, of course, there isn't really much to the character, but this is all you need to get to know. Where he actually is married, he has a family, of course, especially he's just minding his own business, and he's trying to make an appointment with someone else. But unfortunately, when that truck driver gets in his way, you really do feel for him, and you really do want to see him get out of the situation, especially the film progresses itself, which I'm not sure anyone will pick this up here. When his last name says Man, it's like David Mann needs to learn to become the man he needs to be, going from this cowardly salesman into the hero he needs to be. So you really do buy this character really well, especially all thanks to Dennis Weaver, who is such an incredible actor. You really do buy him as this fearful salesman who has to stand up for himself in order to become the man he needs to be. And the music by Billy Goldberg is fantastic. It's very haunting. It really has that atmospheric quality to it. And I thought the scenes that where David Mann is monologuing, I thought it was very good too. Of course, when the movie aired on television, I actually did check out the TV version. I did notice some monologuing, which I never heard before, which I'm very grateful that Spielberg was able to cut some of the monologue down, which we don't need to have every single moment he needs a monologue. He can monologue whatever he needs to, but he just let the scenes speak for itself, as in visuals can speak louder than words. And I actually really do like the new scenes that were added for the movie, as it really, of course, 74 minutes was not really much to be a film, so they had to stretch the runtime in order to get to 89 minutes long, which is enough. And I thought the pacing is really tight. I thought it really does go by. And the chasing is definitely one of the best chasing you've ever seen on film or television. It doesn't film on against like a blue screen or a projector screen or whatever. they really did this whole thing for real on camera. And the last scene where, of course, where the car goes up to the truck and they just had this miraculous crash. And then, of course, you get that dinosaur noise, which, of course, Spielberg will later use that noise in the movie Jaws, where the shark gets blown up. Which, of course, if it hadn't been for Duel, it would not put Spielberg on the map. Which, of course, Spielberg did say in the features that he said, "Thank you, Duel, for giving me a career." That he would not go on to make The Sugar Express, or Jaws, and Close Encounters, and 1941, Raiders, The Lost Ark, E.T., you name it. Especially he had to pay tributes to this film, where you have More About Cars, which is The Sugar Express, and you have the dinosaur noise in Jaws. And then in Close Encounters of Kind, you get the two old people who are unsure about calling the police, especially David Mann is trying to ask for help before the truck would just come in and try to kill David Mann, as well as those old people that they don't want to get involved with. As well as the gas station attendant, played by Lucille Benson, which Spielberg will later use her from Duel into 1941. So Spielberg pays a lot of tribute to Duel in some of his films. And, yeah, there's not much to say about Duel, but if you want to know what the premise of this film is, I guess I'll give you two, because I've already described you why I really love this movie. It's a story about a salesman named David Mann who's on his way on a business trip to get into someone else he needs to talk to. But unfortunately, when he comes across this truck driver, it starts to become very more of this paranoid situation that this truck driver is trying to kill him, and David Mann has no idea why, which leaves all the mystery to it. And now that's really up to David Mann just to stand up for himself in order to survive this situation, so he can be the man he needs to be. So that's the premise for Duel. So, and in terms about why, I'm not sure about why I want to get the Blu-ray, because it's only a widescreen, which is mentioned in the features that when the film was shown in theaters, there actually does notice some share of bloopers. Especially when it's on television, it's okay. But when you watch it in widescreen, especially you can see on Turquoise movies, you can notice that Spielberg is in the back seat to when he's just looking at the script and be sure hopefully they get the scenes what they wanted it. Like the scene where David Mann is on the run, then of course he sees the truck driver as he's looking at his rear view mirror. Especially, of course, you can probably notice the cameraman as well. Especially probably opening in the film where you can kind of notice a reflection of someone in the backseat. But definitely the most infamous one is definitely is David Mann trying to make a phone call, and then you can notice Spielberg on the reflection of that glass, or that he's looking at the script now, which it was not intended to be a cameo, so it's definitely like a mistake. So the film itself does have some share of bloopers there, but it was really Spielberg's attempt to make a feature-length movie before he would go on to make his first theatrical film, Sugar Express. So, yeah, this is definitely a must-see, because I know you've seen many of Spielberg films, but if you have not seen this movie, then please check out Duel. It's definitely a must-see fans who really love Steven Spielberg, especially me. It's a really great self-contained movie. Very fast-paced, a very haunting score, a great performance by Dennis Weaver, the locations, the chasing, anything I can name it all, it's definitely up there. One of its greatest. And as for a TV movie, it definitely is more than just a TV movie. It's definitely a movie with a budget. And Duel itself, without doubt, really earned itself an A+. I highly recommend Duel if you have not seen the film. And hey, even Uncle Mikey here, he will recommend the movie as well, so you should probably see Duel. It gets a big fat thumbs up in my book. So that's my review of Duel, and all I can say is, happy birthday, Mike. Happy birthday. So let me know what you think of this review. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Let me know. Feel free to put your comments down below. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And also, if you have a favorite Steven Spielberg movie, please let me know. And now, next up, is a movie that I'm going to review, but it'll be a review that I've already reviewed before. And I have to go back. I talked about this movie a very long time, and now I have to go back Under the Sea. See ya.